assume it's a difference between how you would talk to your son and your daughter about sex. Like, what's your thoughts about that? Because I think it's a distinct difference. Now, I haven't raised a daughter.
Most times when you talk to your sons, you tell them, you basically talk to them, a man trying to raise a son into a man. Listen, I know you're going to do these things. Mm-hmm. When you get out there and you feel like you're ready to start doing them things, come and talk to me so I can prepare you.
That was my conversation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Make sure you protect yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to get nobody pregnant. Yeah. And and just protect yourself. Protect yourself. And like I told my son, you need to protect yourself because if you make a baby, you gonna take care of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I raised you. I'm not gonna raise your child. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna let my grandchild want for anything. Mm-hmm. Right. But you're gonna raise that child.
That's right. I ain't got time to shake no baby.
Yeah, I ain't changing no diapers now. Yeah. I'm way past that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, talking to your daughter, it's a lot different. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about
it.
Yeah,
I think you take a little bit. I think you kind of cut back.
You put the rubber gloves on.
Yeah, you're delicate with that.
All right, so when I first talked to my daughter, I was as open and transparent as I could be, and I basically told her, boys and men, we're predators, and y'all are our prey. You see how them lions jump on them damn gazelles and just leave it, you know what I'm saying, and rip them apart and be done with it? Yeah. That's what we do to y'all.
And tell them what you said.
What's that? About what?
You said, I was a lion. I know.
Yeah, I used to be a lion.
Are you sure I'm a tiger? I don't feel very much like a tiger.
You know what I'm saying? I used to be one of them dudes. Yeah. And I told my daughter straight up, I never wanted her to meet somebody like who was like me at her age. Mm-hmm. Because I would tell a girl whatever it is I had to tell them to get what I want. And I said, that part of the game hasn't changed. Yeah. Especially for kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And don't feel pressure from a guy to tell you, well, bitch, if you love me, you will do this for me.
You love me, get shit to
You know what I'm saying? If they truly love you, they'll wait till you ready.
Right.
And I also told her, but when you are ready, I ain't the one that you need to come talk to.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to know.
Yeah.
You know I don't know.
Go talk to your mom. Yeah. Don't come talk to me.
Yeah. Not my baby.
Because I don't care. Hey. Because in my eyes, until you have a baby, you a virgin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's just something that I don't want to think about.
Yeah,
man. I used to tell my daughters, man. I know you tell my baby girl. I used to tell my baby girl, boys make you sick, remember?
They get you sick,
They get you sick, baby. When my baby used to go to school, I used to tell her, man, I remember when she was in elementary school, you know, this boy, I said, remember I tell you, boys make you sick. I know boys make you sick, right? Yeah, they make you sick. Yeah, don't.
Yeah, because, I mean,
I think she hated boys, man, until she probably got in the middle school.
Yeah, because see, my
I know she wanted to fight them and all.
Right. See, my daughter, 19.
I thought I did a good job up until then.
Mm-hmm. And she growing, I accept the fact that she's growing into a woman, but in my eyes, she's always going to be my little girl.
Right? Yeah.
You know
I don't care if she's 30.
Right.
And she married.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, for instance, when she graduated high school, we went down there. She had a little boyfriend at the time, and I wanted to meet the little dude. She ran him away just so I couldn't meet the cat. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it's a lot. Well, I can speak for myself. It was a lot easier for me to talk to my son than it was to talk to my daughter. You know what I'm saying? When I talked to her, like I said, I was as transparent as I could be. Because even the three of us, we took our sons on that little father-son getaway, and we talked to them about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But
it's the things we told them fellas.
but
I think
So-
how we
it's a we always talk about double standards.
I want to hear your input, Joe.
We always talk
Well,
about
I
double
ask you a
standards.
question.
It's a double standard.
I
Man.
want to hear your thoughts on it too.
Okay, well, all right. Well, let me ask my question first, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. 'Cause I
Okay.
don't want to forget the question. So, as a man, do you just leave that to her mother, do you just leave that to the mom to talk to her about sex, and you just talk to the boy about sex?
No,
No,
I say
no.
you talk to your daughter. Just like I said, I talked to my daughter and I told her the real about how we as men are. You know what I'm saying? From being young boys that's full of hormones and everything we trying to do with girls, you know what I'm saying, earn our stripes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was as real with her about that as I could be. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell her that from a man's perspective. But when it comes down to it, when she feels that she's at that point in her life that she wants to take that next step, I'm just not the person for her to come talk to.
I agree with
So
that
let
too.
me ask another question because
Well, I want to answer the first question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. You got to be, as a father, you got to be involved in that type of conversation with your daughter. Probably, and it probably depends on the relationship between the child and the two parents. Some females are closer with their mother than they are their father, and vice versa. I think that in a situation when y'all co-parenting, a father got to have some type of dialogue in regards to sex with their daughter, because they don't want them to make them think that they just don't care. So even if you don't go as in depth with it as you do with your son, as long as it's understood that you're going to let the mother handle that part, it's okay to have a subtle conversation, kind of white glove conversation with your daughter. But you give them, like Pat did, from a male's perspective, not being pressured, and you probably should make sure, if they're going to do it, be protected, be smart, whatever. And then I think the mother can.
See, I ain't going all that shit.
I
Because
mean,
in my mind, I'm trying to tell her not to do the shit until she get married.
okay, but what if she come to you and say, Dad, I feel like I'm ready to have sex?
He already said.
I already told her, don't come to me. Go to your mother.
Okay, so you're not going to say nothing about it.
You got two mothers that you can talk to. Your biological and your other mother. You can talk to both of them, but don't come talk to me.
So, would you want your wife to say something to you about it?
Like if your daughter went and talked to her mom or one of her moms about it, would you want them to let you know, hey, I just want to let you know,
No, I don't want to know.
she came and talked to me and she ready.
I don't want to know.
So if she went to them and said that she was ready, would you want them to kind of try to talk her out of it or just tell her how to be safe about it?
I would want them to do both.
Okay. Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Talk to her. Don't treat her like a little girl.
Right.
Talk to her and be like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Because what all parents have to realize is we cannot watch our kids 24/7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
And they're going to make choices. There are going to be things that they do that we'll never know about. Just like there are things that we've done that our parents will never know about.
Yeah.
Well, even when we was living under their roof.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, I would want them to make an attempt to talk her out of it, but at the same time, prepare her if she gets in the situation where she does do it.
But see, here's the thing about it, and that's I think some parents fail to realize. It's not always something that is planned out where your child could come to you and say, "I think I'm ready." Most of the time, when it happens, it happens in the heat of the moment. They somewhere at somebody's house.
That's true.
Somebody kissing up on them, feeling up on them. They wasn't planning to do it,
right.
and then it happens.
But that's why you gotta have the conversation early.
But what I'm saying is, you can't always tell your
you
child,
tell them to come to when you're ready. Right.
Because it doesn't happen like that.
That's true.
That's very true.
That's true. But if you have that conversation in the beginning,
you gotta give them the option.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta
put
have
the option to have be ready to have a conversation or not.
You gotta have a conversation with them so that they'll feel comfortable enough to come and talk to you about it.
Either if it happens before
or after. They gotta be comfortable enough to come and talk to you.
So you need to put that out there early, basically what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. But because here's the thing. I know with our generation, I don't have many friends who parents actually talk to them about sex.
Yeah.
No.
Mine didn't talk to me about it.
Mine either.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, our parents generation didn't do that shit.
Right.
No, I had no Birds of the Beast talk.
Right. We just learned by experience.
I don't even know the fucking story of the Birds of the Beast.
Me neither.
This shit is irrelevant right now.
I've always when I hear people talk about the Birds and the Bees, I be like, well, what's the whole thing?
I'm trying to figure out what a bird and a fucking bee do.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm like, what the fuck is that anyway?
What's the concept?
I don't know either.
Is alright.
What was the thing that you was about to talk about earlier? You said you wanted to ask a question before you
I got one more question before.
All right.
Because he just wanted my view.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So I got one more question before I give my view on it. What's the age that you talk to him, and is the age different from a boy than it is from a girl?
I think you should talk to him the summer before they go to high school.
Shit, what if it's too late by then?
I say middle school like 7th.
They do sex ed in school.
Yeah.
I think about 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah, you got a point.
But I think there shouldn't be just one talk. I think, like you said,
it should be a continuous.
You might not do it every year, but around 7th, 8th grade, definitely before high school.
And it ain't something that you be like, well, come sit down, let me talk to you. Cause I know, like me, when my daughter was here over the summer, me and her were just sitting in the den watching TV one day, and I just looked at her. Hey, you ain't out here doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you say it.
Hey, you don't watch the TV. You don't watch y'all watching TV. You be like, ain't nobody bang your game up yet, right?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, you know, whenever you ready, you need to talk to somebody, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's that passive shit right there. You should have got to the point.
But here's the thing.
But I ain't gonna lie, I did the same thing.
But here's the thing.
Hey,
let me tell you. When I asked the question, my heart kind of skipped because I ain't want to be like, well, damn, daddy, you kind of late. Hey, that would have broke my heart. Yeah. But I think it's like, for instance, my son. When he come home, you got condoms. He in college, you got condoms. You using them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like we done had this conversation before now. I ain't taking care of no babies. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But what's your thought on it? Cause you got, just like me and Shane, you got a son and a daughter.
So yeah, I think the talk should be different. You know, it's definitely gonna be different because you're dealing with a male versus a female. So it's gonna be, the talk is gonna be different.
It has to be.
So, and just like you said, we took our sons on trips and we was straight up with them about sex. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you protect yourself. Make sure you wrap it up. You don't want to be out here. You know, you can catch this, and this. Yep. You can catch diseases. You can get somebody pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Let me make sure the boys know how to put on the condom.
You ain't ready to raise no child, and we not raising no child for you. We also told them don't get caught up in nobody's house having sex with their daughter.
Right,
because you don't know what can happen.
Right.
That's the thing with me. Like I cool with so. I talk to my son, right? So the thing been, you know what I'm saying, come to me when you feel like you ready, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You want to protect yourself and all that stuff. Like, I cool with all that stuff, but I'm not so cool that I'm going to, like, don't come to me to be like, you know what I'm saying, I can use your house type shit.
No.
I ain't that cool.
No.
Like, you got to do that part on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got to figure that out.
Yeah, I cool, but not that cool with it. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Because what I told my son, I said, let me tell you something. If you out here, you know, messing with these girls, the one thing you should never do, don't never go in no other person's house. Yeah. Because if that father catch you in there, And whatever he do to you, I can't be mad. I cannot be mad at all because I'm sure I would do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
As a parent, I'm going to have the same reaction as that man would have. So if he go in there and beat the brakes off you and hold you until he call me, be like, hey, you need to come get your boy. I could only go there as humble as I can. Like, man, I apologize.
Just don't kill him.
Yeah,
just
don't kill him. I done had this conversation with him. There's one thing I told him not to do. From me to you, man to man, I apologize. But he know better.
Right, there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, one aspect of dealing with, when you're talking to the kids too, is like, we told them to be responsible. Like, as far as, you protect yourself, and you protect yourself at all times, and never believe or go by
what somebody else tells you.
I got a shot, or I'm on the pill.
Always protect yourself.
Always protect yourself. Because that's not an excuse for having a child.
Right. Let them go ahead and
so that's so we basically kind of, I know between me, Shane, and Pat, we kind of approached our sons basically all the same way because
we did it all at the same time.
Yeah, we've had group discussions with them about.
That's some good shit too, man. I'm gonna tell y'all, I applaud y'all for that shit, man.
Yeah,
real, man. That's some real good shit.
And we actually need to have another trip now that they're in college.
Yeah, we do.
Talking about
we
do.
We need to have another one.
We haven't done it yet. Now, my daughter, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I haven't had that talk with her yet because I'm struggling. I'm like Pat. She gonna be a virgin until she have a baby.
That's how I feel, man.
And I know I'm gonna have the talk this year. It's gonna happen this school year. It's gonna happen.
Right.
But I just haven't.
You gotta build yourself up to do it.
In my mind, how I'm gonna approach it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With her.
Man,
and I know I'm gonna be real because I'm a real person.
Right.
But I just haven't quite figured out.
I
just ain't even ready for my baby. That's
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, father to father dog, you just gotta be as transparent as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Once you start getting into it, man, you'll be a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, you just gotta.
As long as you don't hear nothing that you don't want to hear.
You gotta be real with them because that's another problem. A lot of parents, they not real with their kids.
No, they want to sugarcoat shit instead of telling them the real.
They have a natural protective instinct,
right.
But at the same time, you gotta be honest with, cause these kids ain't dumb.
Right.
And these
exposed to everything.
Exactly. These kids are exposed to way more than we was when we was their age. They walk around with a computer in their pocket, though.
What's the I can't remember the comedian name, but he was like, he gonna be there the first time his daughter has sex. When old boy try to flip her over, he gonna be like, he ain't ready for that yet.
Was that Mike Epps?
It wasn't Mike Epps. I
seen that.
He was like, they gonna try to flip over. He gonna be like, she ain't ready for that yet. Turn her back.
Yeah, I saw that. But I can't think of who that was.
Who it was.
But yeah, I'm telling, man, that's gonna be one of the hardest conversations you ever had.
Yeah.
But it's necessary.
It is. Cause see, the way it happened with me was, we was sitting down talking to her about something totally different, and it somehow or another the topic just came up, and I just went in. You know what I'm saying? I just went in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And yeah, it's necessary, man. Cause these kids. Cause the thing about it is, like us, we learn off experience. And I'm sure we all made mistakes when we first started. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What Pimp C say? Never mind, let's not say that. Okay?
So, especially with our sons, we just gotta be real with these kids, man. Yeah. We gotta be real with them, and we can't sugarcoat making them think that, it's all glitz and glamour.
Right.
And we just gotta be straight up and be real with them.
It's more. So do you feel like it's more accepting for you to find out that your son having sex at an early age than to find out that your daughter having sex at an early age?
I don't say that it's more acceptable, but my heart could take it more. You know what I'm saying? My heart can take it more. You know what I'm saying?
you know, I mean, I see what you're saying, but I think when I found out, I don't want to talk about my son. I don't know how I'm gonna say this. It's like, actually, I think it was more like a relief. Put it that way. I know I had already had to talk with him, and when I found out he was having sex, I was kind of, I was relieved because I don't know. As a father, my biggest fear that my son was gonna be a I don't want him to be a homosexual. I don't want him to be a homosexual. Me, knowing that he's having.
Just because he's not having sex and he chooses to wait till he's married doesn't mean.
No, it's not that. It was not that. But a lot of these kids, they keep things to themselves. They don't talk.
They bottle stuff up.
Right, they bottle stuff up, and you don't really know what's actually going on with them. Like I've never seen my son with a girlfriend. I had no idea that he was even into girls, even though, I mean, I guess it was just different. In these days, they don't talk about stuff like that. They ain't as open like how we were. Yeah, I got a girlfriend or whatever. I'm going to party. Girls with this and this and that. With those kids, these kids these days, it ain't like that. When they go out, you see them go out with their friends, and then they meet up with other people later. I guess that's how they do it now. So, and then he was always home playing video games and stuff like that. He didn't show that he was interested in female, but secretly he was the whole time. And then when I go to talk to him about it, it seemed like he would either be embarrassed or he didn't want to talk about it. He'd be like, no, Dad, no, Dad, no. So I was like, okay, well, maybe that's not him right now. And I don't know what happened with Carl. Like he just busted loose or something.
So you was relieved when you found out that he was having sexual intercourse?
I guess because dealing with the things that the kids are exposed to today. So like you said, the kids got a computer in their pocket.
Right.
And everybody else in the street and their friends going to tell them about this, tell them about that. They get all this information, but the problem is, right? It's all open to interpretation, and they may interpret it the wrong way. I just wanted to be there to help him interpret the stuff that he probably was exposed to. You just say, okay, well, this is right, this is wrong, And I just wanted to make sure he went about it the right way.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something about, like, with my son. Like, when we went on that trip or whatever, and we talked to them, it got to the point where he was just too open. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm glad that you feel comfortable telling me stuff, but I don't want to know all that.
Let me tell you.
What was the question that he asked?
That motherfucker seemed like he was fucking seasoned.
What was the question that he asked? I remember the question.
You remember the question?
Because they was about in junior high that time.
Yeah,
they was in middle school. Yeah. I was like,
so what was the question? I remember the question.
That boy gonna be a problem.
When he asked the question, I was like, and Kenneth was like, I answered.
Yeah, he asked a lot of questions.
You remember what the question?
What was
you
the
remember
question?
the question? I remember what the question was.
What was it?
So we in a group, we in a circle, so we asked all the boys, y'all got any questions for us? Nothing is off limits. We talking to y'all, we opening up, we gonna be transparent with y'all. So at the time, he was like in 7th or 8th grade. And I know we asked him to ask anything, but when he asked the question, I ain't gonna lie, I was like,
What
he said, what does it mean to be pussy whipped?
Oh, yeah!
No, I don't remember that.
He said, what does it mean? He said, what does it mean to be pussy whipped? And I was like, well, I can't answer that question.
I had no.
Nobody got me pussy whipped. I whips pussy.
That's what I said. I said, I can't answer that. So
Who answered the question?
Kenneth answered it. Kenneth answered the question. I was like,
yeah,
I was like, somebody with experience want to take that question?
Yeah, but I mean, I like the fact that he comfortable enough to come talk to me.
That was the whole point, though.
Right. I do feel good that he can come talk to me, but like I said, it's just some things that he bring to me. I'd be like, and sometimes I just be looking at the cat like, really?
Yeah, you like you must want to eat your words now,
Yeah,
right?
like really?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Comes to me, but goddamn.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that dude, man.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, wrapping it up, man. From a father's perspective, it's different conversations that you have with your son that you have with your daughter. Because you gotta think about it like this. We don't know how the female body responds when they get to that point. You know what I'm saying? When they get to that point and want to start becoming sexually active. We don't know. We can only talk to our sons and give them the real, like, listen, this was going to happen.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Experience of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because I think we even asked them, like, have they ever had, like, wet dreams and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? If you haven't, oh, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? We could tell them the stuff that we've been through and give them, you know what I'm saying, the proper procedures and everything on, you know, preparing yourself. But with your little girls, man, like I said, you can only tell them from a man's perspective and let them know what to expect. And, you know, but like I say, man,
I think
you just can't, you never want to look at your daughter that way.
No, that's my baby.
Right.
And I got two of them.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation is definitely different. With the boys, you're gonna be probably more transparent and just open and real with them than you are with your daughters. And I don't know why that is. Just because that's just how we see them as our babies. Like nobody should be touching them or hurting them.
Right.
And you know, you say some things and you know to them to let them know that you know
that you care
and you're aware that it's eventually probably going to happen. But at the same time, we always throw in there that we don't really want them to do that.
Right.
But if they do, somehow, somewhere, we have to understand. But if you do, this is how you go about it, whatever. And I think a good mother should be able to handle the rest.
Right.
But if you get in a situation where you're a single father, or when they don't have no mother, that's when you gotta find
a family member,
sister, or auntie,
your mama.
You gotta enlist some help.
Yeah.
You gotta enlist some help.
Yeah, you do.
Exactly.
Even if you a single father, I'm hoping you got somebody.
Somebody.
I trust enough that you can have them talk to your daughter.
Yeah. Because it's a lot of women who out here who are single parents, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for the woman who out there, find a good, solid dude, man. You ain't got to be a dude that you in a relationship with. Just a dude that you deem as a solid dude to have that conversation with your son, man. Because you gotta provide guidance in this
that's the whole point.
Situation.
It's guidance. Yeah.
If you don't, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a little bit of guidance or something, you know what I'm saying, somebody help lead you in the right way, they liable to do anything.
Right, and who you bring into their lives that actually have that conversation is key too. Because you don't want nobody out here that's just a straight womanizer and just running through any old thing. Yeah, you don't want that. You want somebody to help your son to respect women too.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And handle the situation properly.
Exactly. Yeah.
And before you say it, I got one more laugh. Something that I told my daughter, and I can only speak from my perspective when I was younger. I told her that if you make a dude wait, he'll respect you more than if you just give it up quick.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? The dude that's gonna sit around and wait on you until you ready. Now, and I told her this too. I may have been wrong. I said, but don't think that he ain't gonna be out there doing his thing now. He may care about you and be willing to wait for when you ready, but he probably out there doing something. You know what I'm saying? It may not be the case all the time.
Right, but
it happens. But make a person, the longer you make them wait, the more they'll respect you.
this is my general advice to women. Women set the bar. You know what I'm saying? Dudes, wherever the bar is, we'll make sure we reach that level to get you. Right. If you set the bar down here, that's all we're going to do.
That's all we're
going to do.
Yeah.
And then when we do it, we ain't doing no more. We ain't doing that now. Hell no, we
not
done.
Gonna do no more. So
we
you
done.
set that bar to that level where you want that guy to reach.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point to make too.
That's what you do.
I was just gonna say. Of course, the conversation is gonna be different, but educate them, but at the same time, try to convince them that it's in their best interest to wait.
Yeah. Both of them.
Right.
Both of them.
Yeah. But you gotta prepare them.
Right.
Yeah. This has been another episode. Catch y'all on the next one. Yeah. Hey.
So hold up, I want to say something real quick.
On camera.
Recording? Yeah, re-recording because I want to say something real quick because you said something at the end of the last episode just now about you made a comment. I can't remember the exact comment. Pat, about the boys out there, doing their thing and whatever, talking to the boys versus talking to the girls. And sometimes I think there's a misconception about boys. Okay, yeah, granted, I know how I was when I was a teenage boy. I'm trying to holler at everything. But there's a misconception because sometimes it's not always the boy.
No, women are aggressive.
It's the teenage girls, man.
They're aggressive too.
Because you have to understand the teenage girls, they mature faster than the boys.
That's true.
And I've been in situations to where, as a teenage boy, that it wasn't me. It was a girl pushing up on me like, come get this.
Right. That's a good point.
Now, you know what else you got to throw in there, man? The whole thing about girls and being molested young, right? A lot of girls, they get exposed to sex, and they ain't always through choice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That tends to happen.
I've known situations like that.
Man, you wouldn't believe how many girls I met that been molested than me, young man. But it's ridiculous.
Right.
But so they get exposed to sex earlier because of an older person, you know what I'm saying, exposing them, you know what I'm saying, it might not be through their will or whatever. So they get exposed to it earlier. So they tend to be, I guess, a little bit more aggressive or open, you know what I'm saying, sexually earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I talked to my son about that too, man. Like, look, man, that shit, you know what I'm saying, you gonna run into girls who already had sex
when you think you preying on them, they're preying on you.
I ain't really more so talking about, like, I think the females that were molested as a young age, I think that's a whole nother topic or category of females. But I'm just talking about those females that mature faster than boys. My grandma used to call them piss-tail girls. Leave them hot behind piss-tail girls alone.
Cause they be wanting.
So it's not always the boy going out there. Sometimes it's the girl setting up everything. Yeah. My parents not gonna be home. They don't get off work.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Because the thing, like you said, in most cases, girls always mature faster than boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cause shit, I remember when I was in elementary school, little girls starting to get breasts. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So we don't mature. Yeah, man. Them girls start maturing faster than us.
But I even know it's like even like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I got into like when I got to 19, 20, even some of the females that I ran into and met was like real aggressive.
Right.
And it wasn't me pushing up on them. It was like,
it was what your grandma called them piss-tail girls.
What you doing tonight? You need to come to my house tonight. I just be like, what?
Yo, listen, I remember working one of my first little jobs at damn Gilligan's. Right there on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, been the oldest girl back there washing dishes and shit. She damn grabbing up on my ass. She an older woman now. Well, I didn't know how to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what to do with the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, what going on here?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like she out of my league type shit. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I ain't been having sex then either. she grabbing on my ass and shit. I was like, oh shit, like what's going on?
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't know what to do.
Man, some of these women are really aggressive, and once they make up in their mind that they want you,
they gonna
do whatever it takes. Yeah. So it ain't always the boy, the teenage boy, or the young man, or the male adult, man. A lot of times it is the woman, you know, that's being aggressive, but they have a way of doing it to where it's like
so subtle that
it's
you don't catch up. You don't catch.
I'm glad you say that though, because this is another thing I've been talking. Man, I just had to start y'all boys. So that's why that shit fresh on my mind. Like I've been telling my boy, I'm like, look, it's all right to say no. If you ain't ready, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to feel pressured. Make somebody. You might like the girl, you know what I'm saying? She might be a nice girl, but I don't want you to feel pressure to the point where you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Even though you like it, it's all right to say no. Cause the way I broke it down to him, I said, look, man, ain't no rush to be an adult, cause the majority of your life you're gonna be an adult. Your kid age, right? So you pretty much between like, and this is being, I guess, kind of lenient, like from about 15 to say about 25, right? You will have freedoms, but not responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? So you can do stuff, but you're not you're not having to pay bills or you know what I'm saying? It's nothing that you have to do, but you have freedoms, right? So between that age, I'm like, yo, enjoy that shit, because it's gonna be a point where you gonna have to do shit. Like you gonna do shit because you want to. Now you have, like you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Take care of kids. You gotta pay bills. Yeah. That shit gonna last a whole lot longer. Than the damn, you know what I'm saying? Your
that
time.
Freedom is.
Don't make temporary decisions. Don't make permanent decisions off of temporary situations.
So you make a good. I'm glad you said that, because like for a teenage boy or a young boy or whatever to turn sex down, he's sometimes looked upon in a negative manner, in a negative light. Because I know when I was in high school, I had friends with, if I turned down sex, they gonna look at me like,
what's wrong with you? I done did it before when I was a teenager.
You don't want that pussy?
Listen.
You know, they look at you and they look at you like a negative light, because that's what they expect boys to do.
But I'm gonna tell you, man, and I've been like this my whole life, dog. Even from the time I began having sex. If something in my mind told me not to do it, I did not do it.
Yo, listen.
If something be like, man, if it's just something in my spirit, like, man, don't have sex with that girl. I ain't do it, regardless of how much she wanted it.
Yeah.
I just didn't do it.
I can specifically remember a time. This is when I'm in college. I've been having sex, and a girl, she wanted to get with me, and I'm like, you know, I wasn't feeling her. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't feeling her. She going up there and been like, what's wrong with you? You did something you wanna, you know what I'm saying? You wanna get with me, but on some shit like that, and going to tell her friends, to proceed to tell her friends that, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to get her, or I don't want to get with her, like something wrong with me.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? I eat that shit, because I'm not even attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to dog her, you know what I'm saying? Which, you know what I'm saying, at that point in time, it kind of wild, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't even dog her out like that, but I just didn't, like, I know that wasn't, you know what I'm saying, for me. I ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen to that.
Obvious at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen to that voice, dog. Something say you don't do it, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
It's all right, you know what I'm saying?
It's all right to say, it's all right to turn stuff down.
Oh,
You
got to.
Yeah, everything ain't good for you, boy.
And then one other thing I want to touch on that I didn't touch on in the last episode, when I had the conversation with my son, I told my son, especially right before he went off to college, I said, if the female, if she has been drinking, don't do it. No. I said, I don't care. I said, I don't care if she say yes, if she agreed to it. If she's intoxicated, don't do it. I said, if you with a female and she's not intoxicated and she agreed to it, and while y'all doing it, she tell you stop. Stop.
Yeah. You got to.
Yeah. Got to. I told and
finish
I
at
and
the
I
crib.
Hey, yo, that's some good shit, dog.
Yeah, you gotta stop, dog. You gotta. I'm talking about you gotta stop instantly.
I don't care if she agreed to it, and then once you get her to the room, she changed her mind. Don't do it.
Respect her choice.
That's right, mind your law.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, take it as an L.
Take it as an L. That's it. Move on.
Hey, and you, like you said, you could be inside her, and she be like, no, stop. All right.
Don't try to finish now.
Walk away.
But that was one of the conversations that I did have.
That's a very good conversation to have with him too. That's good.
I wish I would have had that conversation with my son.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, I don't think I ever told my son that. I might have, but I don't know. But no means no.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say that, man, because sometimes
that was a good point.
But sometimes, like I said, people always think it's the male, but sometimes it's the female that's
it is the female,
peer pressure.
I agree with that.
Everything that's easy ain't for you to have.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worth putting up a little fight. You know,
like I said,
going through something to get something.
Don't turn a temporary situation to a permanent problem.
Exactly.
That cat laughing.
It's a platinum production, man.